Good morning, good morning, good morning. That's right, I'm on time. Right on time at that. How's everybody's day going? How's everybody feeling? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Grand Rising Rich, Rising Happy New Day to each and every one of y'all. That's right. Let me get this on here real quick while y'all coming into the room. Should have been, put that up there. There we go, there we go, there we go. Good morning, Grand Rising, Rich Rising. Happy New Day to each and every one of you guys, man. Hoping and praying you guys have had the best day ever. Hoping and praying that you guys are in y'all best mood on this morning. Good morning to you, Lily. I tell you what, I know some of you guys who have been with me and have been with me just from last week to this week. I know y'all like, man, we've been working, we've been in, we've been out, we've been here, we've been there, we had this. When I said this has been a busy month, this has really been a really busy month. We've had a whole lot of stuff going on, you know what I'm saying, from speaking engagements to podcasts, appearances, and everything. We have been busy, and this month is still not over, right? This month is still not over. We still got a lot more to do. We will be in Brooklyn, New York. That's right, Brooklyn, New York. I am on the way. I will be out there this Saturday. This Saturday, August the 23rd, I will be in Brooklyn, New York. If you've been trying to get into the building or anything like that, and you like, man, I'm going to the Eventbrite page for that. When I go to it, it's saying there's no more seats. All you have to do is hit me up. If you're trying to come out to Brooklyn, hit me up expeditiously so that we can go ahead and work it out and get you in the building, right? So if you had any issues with that, we're going to get that put up again today too. So we can make sure that everybody that wants to be in Brooklyn, New York is in fact in Brooklyn, New York. You know what I'm saying? Make your way on over there. You know what I'm saying? Make your way right on over there. Thank you so much. Hey, Takesha, what's going on with you, sis? How are you? Vita Brooks, how you doing over there, man? Y'all double tapping on the screen as y'all coming in. Over there on the Book of Many Faces, man, we are at 121. Let's go ahead and get up to that 200 real quick. Over there on the Graham, go ahead and let's get our 10 badges for this morning, man. Let's get our 10 badges over there. Double tapping on the screen over here on the Great Tickety Talk as I go ahead and slide back through what we've been talking about, right? What we've been talking about for the past 3 weeks is being the benefits of being connected to God, the consequences of not being connected to God, and now we're wrapping everything up because we didn't have, you know what I'm saying, we had to get up out of here, right? We had to get up out of here because Coach had to go. I had a speaking engagement. No, I did do Fiery Friday. So now I'm doing my actual summary right now of everything, right? So I just wanted to go back real quick of everything that we have been talking about. So over these past 3 weeks, I was talking about staying with y'all boat. And the boat was a representation of Christ, saying that you have to stay connected to him. That it's important that you stay connected to him in order for you to live that peaceful life that you want, that life that's filled with joy, to have that positive outlook, to have that type of insight, that it is imperative that you stay connected, right? That you are constantly prioritizing your spiritual practices on a regular basis. Like this should be something that you're doing day in and day out, right? No, I'm talking about day in and day out, no days off. It is extremely important that you remain connected to Christ in order for you to have that successful life. So I gave you some consequences, right, of things that will actually happen if you when you became disconnected. But I also gave you some pros of things that will happen if you were connected. Those pros were, it was guidance and direction. Staying connected to Christ, it would provide you with guidance and direction. I said that staying connected to Christ will bring you peace and joy, a positive outlook. It will bring you spiritual growth. It helps you overcome challenges. It gives you a sense of purpose. It makes you want to get up every single day. You know what I'm saying? It gives you that extra push that you need to stay motivated. It betters your relationships, right? That's another perk, another benefit. It helps you have healthy relationships. Why? Because when you fix who you are, it fixes everything that's connected to you. This is the reason why it's so important for us to work on ourselves, because when we fix ourselves, when we handle the business that we need to handle within ourselves, then we're able to be good people to other people. And once people see that, hey, look, no, I take pride in the person of who I am. I got boundaries. I have standards. I have morals. There's things that I'm not going to tolerate. There's things that that I'm not going to put up with, right? So you show up that way. And that's when we hear people say all the time, oh, you teach people how to treat you. Yes, you teach people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. You are walking representation of how you want people to treat you. So if you see that I don't talk to me that way, that I don't handle me that way, then you know already that I'm not going to tolerate that type of behavior from you either. I'm not going to let you talk to me any kind of way. I'm not going to let you treat me no any kind of way. I'm not going to let you handle me no any kind of way, right? Because that's not how I handle me. So it betters your relationship. It provides you with a protection and security. Right? Being connected to Christ, it provides you with that protection and security, and it freedom from burdens. When you are connected to Christ, you ain't thinking about those burdens, right? You know that they're there, right? You know that they're there. You know that you're going to face a trial. You know you're going to face a tribulation. You know you're going to go through something in life, but it just doesn't have that effect on your life that it used to have on your life. So when we put down in the notes and it says, it frees you from the burden, we're saying that it frees you from the effects of it. You know what I'm saying? The stress, from the anxiety, from the depression, from the anxiousness, from the feelings of defeat. Understand me, you're not walking around like everybody else, because as you're connected to Christ, you realize that, hey, look, I know that I'm going to experience hardship. I know sometimes I'm going to cry. I know sometimes I'm going to be down bad. I know sometimes things are going to happen, and these are all going to be part of the plan. I'm not experiencing nothing that God is not aware of. I'm not going through nothing that God is not in control of the outcome of. I'm not dealing with nothing in my life that God is not right there with me. Understand me, I'm not facing no adversity or no difficulty that is going to be too hard for him. As long as he's connected to me, I will succeed, right? That's our 4 points right there. I know that I'm going to succeed. I know that I'm going to conquer it. I know that I'm going to come out of it. This is the mindset of a believer. So when you're locked in with Christ and you show up a certain type of way, you don't feel the pressures of the burdens. We're not saying that the burden is not going to be there. We're saying what? We don't feel the pressure of it. That thing don't press me like how it press you. Hey now. Yeah, that thing be adding pressure on y'all. That thing don't press me like how it press you. You understand what I'm saying? I get it, but I don't let those things bother me like that. Why? Because when you are in partnership with Christ, right? When you are locked in with Christ, right? You have to understand that he is the one that sees it all and controls it. So why am my partner got this? I trust my partner. I trust my partner. So this is what this is going to be. I'm coming out of this, right? I'm going to make it through this. And that will become your mindset. I'm coming out of this. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it through this. I know it might sound like, oh yeah, that is crazy to think it. Oh yeah. I might not come out how I want to come out, but I'm still coming out. Understand me? It might not happen the way that I wanted to happen. Thank you, Danielle White. But what needs to happen is definitely going to happen. And this is what I want to make sure that you guys walk away with the understanding of, right? Every single time you don't get what you want, I don't want you to feel defeated. When the door don't open, when the answer is no, when it's uncomfortable for you in your life, I don't want you to feel defeated. I want you to understand that there's going to be some times that we are going to experience a no. We're going to experience a closed door. We're going to experience an opportunity being ripped away from us. At least that's what it's going to look like. That's what it's going to feel like, even, right? For a moment, but only for a moment. It's only going to feel that way for you for a moment because it just happened, right? It's just something that just happened in that moment. Thank you so much, Amanda. But the moment that reality sets in with you, you're going to realize that you can't take nothing that's from me, that's mine. Hey. But you say, baby, you can't take nothing from me that's mine. If that thing was actually mine, you would have never been able to put your hand on it. If that thing right there was a part of my plan, the plan that God has for my life, you would never been able to breathe on that thing. Understand me, it'll only affect you for a moment because as believers, we're growing through life, right? We're growing through life. So sometimes, it takes us a second because ain't anybody out here just, we always got it like that. No. Thank you, Lynn. I appreciate you. Sometimes in life, it takes us a second. And once we can, we like, know what? Let me get back together. And I'm bringing your awareness to it this morning so that you can stop slipping and sliding the way that we've been slipping and sliding. Understand me? So yes, there will be some times in your life where you're going to experience a no. There's going to be some times in your life when you're going to start to feel like that belonged to you. How did they get that and that was mine? How were they able to do that? That's what I was supposed to be doing. You're going to have those moments because you are still human. Understand me? You are still human. And what you have to do is you have to bring that flesh under subjection every single day. When you start to behave that way, you have to check you. Self-parenting. When you start to think that way, you have to check you. Self-parenting. When you self-check yourself, bring yourself right on back over there. Like, wait a minute, if that was mine, if that was for me to do, if that was a part of the plan that God had for my life, then that's exactly what I would be doing. Because if you start to feel like something is not going the way that you wanted to go, or you don't have what you feel like you are supposed to be having, you have to check your guidance. You have to check your guidance. You have to check your connection. You have to check your alignment. And some people are like, wait, whoa. Yeah, because see, you've tricked yourself. Thank you so much, Sandy Johnson. I appreciate that love over there. Because see, what happens is we start to look and say that God this, and God that. And the truth of the matter is it's not that God's not doing his part. It's that we are not doing ours. And sometimes it's not about what you did do. It's about what you're not doing, right? Sometimes it's not about what you did do. It's about what you're not doing. And what do you mean by that, Coach? Sometimes you are over there whining and crying about a thing, and you're so focused on that thing that you did not get, that relationship that did not work, that friendship that did not work, that door that closed in your face, that thing that happened, and you become obsessed with the situation of it all. You become obsessed with the situation. You become so mad, so furious with the situation, mostly because I feel like I gave that thing my all. I feel like I did this. I feel like I did that. I showed up in that. You know what I'm saying? You got the big chest. I showed up in it. I gave this and I gave that. And I can't believe, you know what I'm saying? You walking around, you got your big chest on because you're trying to figure out how in the world. So you're wrapped up in your emotions. And no matter how much emotion you attach to that thing, no matter how much emotion you attach to that thing, it's not going to make that thing be what you want it to be. And I need for you guys to put that in your notes. I don't care about your emotions, baby. Be mad at me for telling you the truth, but love me enough to stay connected. Understand me? Yeah, I can't stand when she tell me the truth. I can't stand when she come on here and say that, because I knew that's exactly what I needed to hear, and here she go. Yes, be mad, be mad. Be so mad that you change. Be so upset with yourself that you change, that you look at that situation and say, you know what? The problem with this is I'm putting in too much time, too much energy into this thing, and me whining about it is not going to change it. Me crying about it is not going to change it. Me folding up in the fetal position in my bed and shutting off all the lights is not going to change it. Me over there then built the altar and did all this, that's not going to change. All of this is nothing but me playing with emotion. Nothing is going to change in my life until I change. I got to be the one that's willing to change it. I got to shift my perspective. I got to shift the way that I'm dealing with this thing, because I'm so focused on the no. I'm so focused on the missed opportunity. I'm so focused on the broken relationship. I'm so focused on what I had to walk away from that I haven't even began to start creating a plan of action. I don't even know how I'm going to get up out of here. I haven't even thought about that. I haven't even processed that. No, because you've spent months, you've spent years, you've spent decades over there whining and crying about something that you can't do anything about. As much as I want to tell you, you can get your get back, you can't. As much as I want to tell you, go get your lick back, you can't. Understand me? That's not for you to do. Once you are in partnership with God, then you have to surrender everything, including the disrespect. Hey. Yeah, once you're in partnership with God, you have to surrender everything, including the disrespect, including the hurt that you felt from that thing. Include, yeah, you have to surrender it all. You can't just let piece of it go and then this go and that. You have to turn it all the way loose. If you really want to grow, you really want to evolve in life, you're gonna have to stop compartmentalizing. You're gonna have to stop picking and choosing. Understand me. The reason why you still triggered by that situation, by conversations about that situation, the reason why you keep crying about it the way you've been crying about it is because you're still holding on to pieces of it. We got 4.5 months left in this year. I need for you to turn it all the way loose. I need for you to let that thing all the way go, because that right there, that's going to be the thing that's going to be separating you from your next move. You have to let that go so that you can grow, so that you can heal, so that you can fully develop in your life. And I get it. I tell y'all all the time, I get it. I understand that it was unfortunate. I understand that you did not deserve it. I understand that it should have never happened to you. I get that. But you holding on to it, hoarding it, making it a part of your everyday life, your everyday conversation, that being the reason why you show up broken, the reason why you show up hurt, the reason why you damage other people, the reason why you talk to folk any kind of way, the reason why you build up all of those walls and those borders in your life, that's not going to fix you. That's not going to fix you. You are self-sabotaging. You are self-sabotaging what you're dealing with. Good morning, y'all. Yellow Ronnie 6. It's been a minute, sis. You're self-sabotaging. If you think for 1 second that right there, no, baby. She said, Jesus, you've helped me this morning. Thank you. That's God's plan. Sit in that for a second. We got 4 weeks, 4.5 months left in this year. You have 4.5 months left in this year. You have a decision that you have got to make. If you want to grow, if you want to evolve, if you want to live up to your fullest potential, that thing right there, that thing is on you. Thank you, Danielle White. That thing is on you. How bad do you really want it? Do you want it enough to say that, you know what, I've realized that 10-year-old trauma, that thing right there, me holding on to it, me crying about it, that's not going to fix it. I realized that they violated me, that they done something to me that they should have never done to me, and I've been holding on to that for all of these years, and it's time for me to let that go so that I can grow, so that I can heal, so that I can develop, so that I can have healthy relationships. Baby, you have to let that go. Understand me. Yes, they abandoned me. They walked out on me, and I had to be raised by people that I don't even know like that. Understand me, and I'm hurt by that. Now I feel those abandonment issues, and those things have been trailing me my whole entire life, and I just don't trust folk, and I feel so alone. And I'm telling you, you're going to have to let that go. You're going to have to free yourself from that. Understand me, you deserve to have love, to feel love. You deserve to feel accepted. And the only way that you're going to feel that and experience that is if you surrender that. You're blocking yourself. Understand me. You have to be willing to let it go. You have to be willing to surrender that. Trust me when I tell you, I know that it hurts to say, oh, I got to get over that. I know it hurts to say, oh yeah, I got to move on from that. I know it hurts when people say that, right? Yes, it hurts. And I'm going to tell you what hurts more, holding on to it. So you decide. So you decide. I know it hurts when the ones that you choose and they ain't choosing you. When the ones that you love, they ain't loving you. When you see that it's not reciprocal, when you see what you're willing to do for them, they're not willing to do for you, yeah, that'll break your heart. That'll make you feel a certain type of way. But that's the reality of it. And then folks will look you directly in your face and they'll say, oh, it's easier said than done. Understand me. That's what y'all have said. I want y'all to dismantle that. I want you to dismantle that. I don't want you saying that anymore. I want you to take that completely out of your things and say, oh, that's easier said than done. The devil is a lie. If you can think it, you can do it. You ain't even got to say it. Understand me. If you think it, you can do it. It is very much easier to do than it is to say. And a lot of times it's more powerful when you just do it than going over there and saying it. So I want you to take, tell them coach told me, that ain't working no more, baby. Yeah, that right there, that she don't play that. We not doing that. We not doing that over here. Yeah. Oh, it's so much easier to say. It's easier to say than it is to do. No, it's very much easier to do it. All you gotta do is do it. You create more. Come on, coach. You gotta just, hey. What you trying to tell me? It's harder when you're trying to say it. It's harder when you're trying to say it because the moment that you start speaking about it, right? The moment that you start speaking about what it is that you want to go do, how you want to go do it, that's when you make everything that's around you knowledgeable about what it is that you're thinking and what it is that you're doing, right? So now when you start saying it out loud, then you got other people that start dropping in their opinions and their thoughts. And when their opinions and their thoughts start coming against what it is that you already have made up your mind that that's what you need to do, that's what makes it hard. It makes it hard because now you start listening to other people, including other people and other people's think pieces for your life. That's what makes it harder. It's harder to say it whenever you start saying it. It gets you need to stop saying everything that you need to do, and you just simply need to do it. That's it. That's all. Understand me, because you already know what's best for you. You already know what you need to be doing. You already know how you need to be doing it. You already know this, right? So you have to stop playing with yourself. You have to stop playing with yourself. You got to stop pretending. You got to stop acting like you don't see what it is that you see. And you need to start moving in your life and doing what you need to do to make sure that you are living up to your fullest potential. Understand me. And hoarding negative energy, hoarding pain, hoarding trauma, hoarding these things, I want you to know that's damaging. That's self-sabotaging. And ain't nobody suffering from that but you. Oh, it's easier said than done. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because I ain't got to say a word. I can just go out there and do it. Period. That's just an excuse, a little riddle that people have said because they want to make leaving hard. They want to make you leaving hard. They want to make you speaking up for yourself hard. They want to make you having boundaries hard. Everything that you need to do to make sure that you're living a full life, they've already deemed it as hard. Oh, it's hard to honor boundaries. Oh, it's hard to live right. Oh, it's hard to think right. Oh, it's hard to do this. It's hard. Everything. Have you ever noticed that? Have y'all ever paid any attention to that? Come on, wait. Hey, or is it just me? Because I know sometimes I be thinking too deep. But have you ever thought about that? Everything it is that we need to do to make sure that we live a full life. Everything that we need to do to make sure that we have joy, that we have peace. You ever notice that, Lily? Everything that we need to do to make sure that we on the up and up. But they've already deemed it as the hard thing. Oh, it's so hard to live right. Oh, it's so hard to think right. Oh, it's so hard. Everything that we need to do to live a full life have already been deemed as hard. So if they've already convinced us that it's going to be hard, right, Amanda? If they've already convinced us that it's going to be hard, then we've already made up our mind that it's going to be too hard for us to do. We've already accepted the fact of defeat already. We've already accepted, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to live like that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, I don't know. And you do what? You go sit down in your life. You go sit down because you believe the lies that was told to you that it was going to be too hard for you to grow, for you to heal, for you to develop. Oh, you've experienced so much stuff in your life. Yeah, it's going to take years for you to let go of that. You done been through this and you done been through that. Oh, yeah, it's going to take years. They've already spoken this struggle over your life. And if you believe the struggle that they've spoken over your life, then you accept that. And then you look back at your life and say, while I've been struggling so long, while I've been going through it so long, while I've been putting up with this so long, because you keep believing the lies that everybody is telling you. Understand me. If you want to get up and you want to get to living, if you want joy, you want peace in your life, then it's right there for you. But you have to be willing to do the necessary work. You have to be willing to go against the grain. You have to be willing, understand me, to stand even if it's just you by yourself, and you deserve that. That's the thing. You deserve it. Stop playing with yourself. Stop shutting yourself out. Stop looking at yourself and thinking that, I can't do it. I'm not good enough. I'm not capable enough. This is going to be the end of me. This situation that I'm in is so difficult and so that. No. Understand me. You right where you're supposed to be. You right where you're supposed to be to do exactly what you need to be doing. Understand me. And sometimes we go through things in our life and we don't understand it in that moment, but we will once we come out of it. We live life backwards. Understand that we live life in reverse. We don't know why we had to experience that pain until we come out out of that pain. We don't know why. We had to go through that heartache and deal with that betrayal, deal with that letdown until we're on the other side of it. And then once we get on the other side of it, then we're like, oh man, that's why you took me through that. That's why you had to deal with that. That's why oh man. Now, but if you go through it and you're not seeking his face, seeking his guidance as you're going through it, then you're gonna miss all of the lessons. You're gonna miss all of the things that he's exposing to you. This is why, as believers, when you're locked in with God, when you're in partnership with God, this is where you're receiving. Some of y'all not gonna like this. Some of y'all not gonna like this. When we're talking about being in partnership with God, when we're talking about being in alliance with God, right, and following God's direction, have any of you guys noticed that majority of the time when people were giving, when people was giving instructions, they were always giving instruction in struggle? Have you noticed that? Whenever you're reading through the Bible, and you're reading about the different parables in which we're supposed to be learning from, did any of you guys ever pick up on the fact that, have y'all ever picked up on the fact that whenever the instructions was given out, it was being given out during struggle? There was something that was happening. There was something that they was facing. There was something that they were dealing with in that moment. And God will have them all the way out there and won't give them everything that they need until they get right there in the right position. And once they got into the right position, that's when he would do his big one. That's when he would show up. And people be like, well, wait a minute. That's because you have to have the right type of faith to be able to get the job done. Understand me? So you're not going to skip over. You're not going to skip over trials. You're not going to skip over hard life. You're not going to skip over that. Understand me? It's going to be right there in the middle of your struggle that you're going to receive your instructions. Right there where you are is where he's going to tell you exactly what it is that you need to do. And he's going to wait until you get over there before he tells you that. He's going to wait till you get all the way out there before he actually breaks it down for you. Understand me? And this is the reason why I keep telling you guys every single live video, you have to count it joy. You have to be locked in. You have to be focused. You have to be attentive. You have to be present, because if you're not present, if you're not focused, if you're not attentive, and when you're going through trials and tribulations in your life, what's going to happen is you're going to miss your instruction. Come here. If you're going through something right now in your life and you feel like you don't know what it is that you're dealing with, when you're going through something in your life right now and you feel like, I don't know if I'm coming or going, I don't know what's supposed to be coming out of this, this is the reason why I tell y'all every single morning. I tell this to y'all so much y'all should be able to say it back to me. Understand me? You have to operate your spirit of calmness in every single situation. I don't care what that situation is. Understand me? It could be a financial situation. It could be a medical situation. It could be a mental situation. It could be a physical situation. It does not matter what the situation is. If it is something that you're facing in your life and it is difficult, because you have to understand that no matter all four things that I just named, those things are still spiritual. Everything that we do is spiritual, and you have to see that, you have to understand that, and you have to accept that, because the moment that you accept that everything that we do is spiritual, then you will start to surrender your whole entire life. Everything that is you will start to surrender these things. And the reason why I'm saying to operate your spirit of calmness is because when you're operating with a calm mind, you're able to think, right? You're able to think clearly. You're able to process things on a whole nother level. If you are operating in panic and stress and anxiety and anxiousness, right? Now you're over there just doing whatever you can do to get out of the situation. You're not following God, you're following yourself. Hey, come back. When you start to operate in panic, start to operate in fear, start to operate in stress and anxiety, friends, and that's red ink right there. When you start to operate there, I need for you to fully understand what it is that I'm saying to you. If you do not operate your spirit of calmness so that you can think and you can seek God's face for the guidance and the instruction and whatever it is that you're dealing with in your life, in that moment what you're doing is you're not following God's guidance. You're not receiving God's instructions. What you're doing is you're following self. You're doing exactly what you want to do, how you want to do it. You are over there trying to save you, and hey now listen here, understand me. Why are you trying to save you if you're in partnership with the Savior? Why are you trying to save you if you're in partnership with the Savior? If you're in partnership with the Savior, then why are you stressing? Why are you crying? Why are you slipping into depression? Why are you walking around anxious? Why your body is breaking out in hives? If you are in partnership with the Savior, then you don't need saving from nothing that happens in this world. That right there has already been done. You don't need nobody to come in and do nothing for you. Understand me? That's already been done. That's already been taken care of. That's already, this right here, baby, listen, this right here just protocol. You show, yeah. Oh, come on, you gotta stop this. Understand, you show up in life, and when you show up in life, baby, this is your protocol. Hey now, baby, I'm here, baby. This is your protocol. This is what you see me do. Oh, baby, this is just protocol. When you're in alliance with the Most High God and you show up and you know who's fighting your battles, when you, hey, listen, come back here. Look how you just ran up and down those virtual churches. Come back, sit down. We got some people that's just now coming into church. Y'all got to slide over real quick. Right, but baby, this is protocol. So every situation that you're facing on this morning, every hardship that you're facing on this morning, every trial, every tribulation, every dark hour, that thing that you woke up this morning and you thought that thing was going to take you out, you thought that thing was going to ruin your day, you thought that thing was going to destroy your mood, baby, you have to look at it and just head up, chest out, baby, this protocol. Hello, somebody, baby, they're going to be expecting for you to come in and you're going to have a face full of tears. They're going to be expecting for you to come in, be feeling all defeated. They're going to be expecting for you to come in and have your face all balled up, walk in, head up, chest out, protocol, baby. This is protocol. Understand me? Hey, I'm just showing up and doing what I got to do, baby. This right here, this is already fixed. It's already handled. It's already taken care of. You don't even know who I'm in partnership with. Understand me? My partner went ahead of me. I'm just going to leave, yeah, he went ahead of me. So when you are operating with your spirit of calmness, now you're able to think clearly. And when you're able to think clearly, right, your first thought when you're in partnership with the Most High God is, I need you to fix this. I need you to work this out. I need you to do what needs to be done in this situation, right? So when you're operating with that spirit of calmness, it helps you be able to think. And when you're over there in thinking mode, right, and you're not panicking and all of that, not only are you communicating with God, you're creating a stillness of the atmosphere where God is able to communicate back with you. Just when you thought that you have crossed T's and dotted I's, just when you thought that you had did everything that you could do, just when you thought you had then walked that thing down, all the way down, just like that. In an instant, a new download, just like that in an instant, your phone ring, just like that in an instant, just like that somebody knocks on the door, just like that you hit a mailbox close, and all of a sudden, right, something, that idea, that thought, something, and it's just what you needed. And it's just what you needed. That thought was just what you needed. That's how powerful that spirit of calmness is. That's how powerful that spirit of calmness is. It creates a space where your mind can breathe, where your mind can decompress. Some people confuse it and they confuse stillness as a lack of motion or action. No. When you still, that's when your mind and your spiritual man is doing its own thing. When you're operating in stillness, you're doing more work than what you would have been doing if you was running around all over the place. Understand me? When you learn how to utilize stillness, right? Stillness and that spirit of calmness all together, oh baby, you become a person that you've never become before. People don't even know how to deal with you. They're like, wait a minute, look, watch them calm ones now. When they get real calm and they get real quiet and they don't have nothing else to say, they say that already, right? Hey, watch that person. Why? Because they know in that moment I'm strategizing. They know in that moment that I'm thinking it through. They know in that moment that I'm processing. And that's what we as a people, that's what we have to learn how to do. Operate that spirit of calmness so that we can seek his face in every single situation, his guidance in every single situation, because it will not be until you do that, right? The moment that you get into that thing, right? The moment that you get into that thing, that's when you're going to receive your instructions. He got to see if you're going to be willing to go first. He got to see if you're going to be willing to do it first. Most of the people inside the Bible never received their instructions on what it was that they was going to do until they were already in the middle of a struggle. They got their instructions in struggle. Understand me? They got their instructions in struggles. They got their instruction in struggle. Understand me? When Peter stepped out of that boat, he let him step out of the boat. You think he didn't already know who Peter was? Understand me? You think he didn't already know who Peter was when he told him to step out of the boat? When Peter asked to step out of the boat, he says, hey, if that is you, then let me come to you. Understand me? Peter was already stepping out with weak faith. At that moment, he was already questioning whether or not that was him already. Understand me? So he already knew, if you don't even know that this is me walking to you, I can only imagine what you're going to do when a little bit of wind come. I can only imagine what you're going to do. If a little tree get to waving a little bit, we already know how you're going to respond to that, right? We already know, because this is the conversation that he's having before he even got out the boat. He says, if that is you, you don't even know if it's me or not. Then command me to come to you. He gets out, he come. You standing over on the water. And as soon as the wind comes, you take your eyes off of me. And now you going in the water. Then he corrects him about his faith. Fix your faith, Peter. Get your faith together. How is it that you trust me enough to get out the boat, but don't trust me enough to walk on the water? You got to stay focused. You got to stay locked in. You got to stay committed. No matter what the wind is looking like, no matter what the waves is looking like, no matter what the storm is doing, you have to stay focused. You have to keep your eyes on me no matter what. You cannot be swayed by this world. You can't be persuaded by this world. Understand me? You have to know that you know what you know without a shadow of a doubt. This is how committed that you have to be on this journey. Because one thing about life is definitely going to life. There's going to be things that's going to happen in your life. You're going to experience some stuff in your life, and some of the stuff that you're going to experience, you're going to feel like, oh my God, I can't believe this happening. There's some instructions in that. There's some guidance in that. And if you're not paying attention, you're going to miss it. It's going to be some instructions in that, some guidance in that. And if you're not paying attention, you're going to miss it. This is exactly why I tell you, you cannot afford distractions. We are in a season right now of life, baby, where I can't even afford a distraction. I can't afford to be pulled off course. I can't afford to live. I can't afford that in my life. Understand me. If you ain't talking the right type of talk, if you ain't on the same thing that I'm on, then I'm getting about your face, about your way so doggone fast. And baby, it's not a beef. It's just right now in my life, I can't afford that. Understand me. If I see that it has the potential to pull me out of alignment, I'm not doing it. If I see that it has the potential, understand me, to take me down a dark, long road, I'm not doing it. If I see it has the potential to try to take me back through something that I've already prayed myself up out of, already fasted my way up out of, already worshiped my way up out of, then there's a 99.98% chance that, baby, I'm about to get some safe distancing between me and you. Understand me, I've worked too hard on becoming who and what I am right now to even deal with it. Understand me, to even put myself in those type of situations, to even deal with anything that has the potential to do it. I can't afford that. I can't, yeah. And then they'll hit you with, don't let nobody hit you with, I'm trying to get into what I'm supposed to be talking about, but we outside a little bit. I ain't even got into what I'm supposed to be talking about, but I need for you to understand this right here real quick. Because when you start talking about, I see the potential in them, when you start using the terminology that I see the potential in them, that also means the flip side of that. The flip side of that also means that you see red flags in them. That also means, when you start saying stuff like, I see the potential in them or the potential in that, that also means that you see the red flags in them or in that as well. Don't be so caught up that on the potential that you see that you ignore the red flags that's also present. Understand me? What you say, Coach? Don't be so distracted by the potential that you see that you ignore the red flags, because those red flags be right there, and you know that they're right there the moment that you start focusing on the potential. When you start focusing on the potential, you're focusing on imaginary. That's how I want to say that. Now hold on, I'm gonna explain it. Listen, when you focusing on the potential, you're focusing on the imaginary. They are not yet that individual. You see potential in them. You see what they can become. You see what it can become. You see what it can be, which means that it's not yet that. Understand me? So when you out there and you falling in love with the potential, you falling in love with the person that they could be, they not that individual yet. And understand me, by the time they become that individual, there's no guarantee that they gonna even want you. By the time that they become the person that you see that they got the potential to be, you done went over there and you done spent up all your finances. You done went over there and you done spent up all your love. You done went over there and you done put in all your time, all your energy. You done put in all your effort, and you been over there building your bae, building your boo-boo, building your bun. You done did all of that. Then God knows you tired. Yeah, baby, you tired at this point. And by the time they get to be that person that they had the potential to be, you ain't even their type no more. You didn't put all, you done did all of that, and they look at you and they tell you, you ain't even my type no more. You ain't even, yeah. I thank you for everything that you done for me, but you ain't my type no more. Yeah, I thank you for all the love that you poured into me, but yeah, you ain't my type no more. I thank you for being so patient with me, so kind to me. And you taught me a whole lot, because you taught me what patience was. You taught me what kindness was. You taught me what love was. I've learned so much from you, and I plan on doing what? I'm gonna take all these tools, all these techniques, all this learning that I got from you. I'm gonna take it over there to somebody that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to give all of those things to somebody that I actually love, somebody that I actually want, into a relationship that I'm actually trying to be present in. Understand me? By the time they reach that potential, by the time they reach that person that you said that they could be, you will no longer be their type. This is the danger of dealing with somebody, understand me, based on their potential, falling in love with their potential. And now here you are over there feeling like somebody owe you some stuff. Hello, somebody owe me something. You mean to tell me that I did all this work for nothing? I made all this sacrifice for nothing? I gave all of this for nothing? I taught you how to wash. I taught you how to get your license. I taught you how to pay your bills. I helped you get your degree. I showed you how to get your line up right, because they had you crooked. One part was back here, the other part up here. I did all of this, help you get caught up on your child support, help you fix all of this, your credit, and I done got you here, got you there, and you mean to tell me, oh yeah, that ain't nobody's fault but your own. Who said that? Hey, that ain't nobody's fault but your own. Understand me. Anytime that you settle, you gonna suffer. Anytime that you settle, you gonna suffer. So if you settle for somebody that's not yet ready to be what you know that you're ready for, then that's your fault. When you see that y'all are unequally yoked and you still continue to deal with that individual, knowing that that individual is not on your level, that's your fault. When you sit over there and start becoming a mother or a father to a grown adult in a relationship and trying to help them do all the things that they should have already had done way before they came over there, smiling and grinning up in your face, baby, that's your fault. Understand me. That was your fault. And that's why I'm telling you right now today, that's not your job to do. When you see that it's not what it's supposed to be, when you see that they're not grown, when you see that they're not ready, and your only job is to get up out the way. That's it. You cannot afford to fall in love with potential. You can't afford to be wrapped up over there in the imaginary world of what this could be and how it could be this and could be that. If that's not what it is, then that's all that matters right there. Baby, that's make-believe. I don't care how much they dress up the sandwich, and the sandwich can be perfectly painted and it can look so good and everything, and it can be very realistic, and when you're seeing it through the glass window, you can look at it and say, oh my God, that is a beautiful sandwich. Oh my God, I just want that. And you walk up in there, right? It's beautiful as all get out as you seeing it from a distance. When you seeing it through the window, you're like, oh my God, that is so good. I'm going to get that when I get off work. Oh my God, that's going to be my lunch. That's going to be my lunch right there. You all hyped up about it. You get over there and you go in there and you order that thing that got you over there, that got you drooling. You've been waiting to get it in your hands, and you unwrap the wrapping, and guess what? It don't look nothing like what you saw. That, whoa. You started unwrapping and you like, wait a minute. All this was so well put together. It was so this and it was so. You unwrap it and you, friend said, so true. And you mad as all get out. Understand me. You mad as all get out because, see, what you saw was the representation. What you saw was not real. You saw something that looked good, but it wasn't good. Understand me. It looked like it was the right thing, but it wasn't. You go and unwrap your wrap and it don't look nothing like what they said that it was going to be. You over there, you like, wait a minute, you mad as all get out because somebody didn't trick you. They didn't bamboozle you. They didn't hoodwink you. They didn't finesse you. Understand? They didn't got over on you. Now I'm ready to squabble with everybody up in here because ain't no way, right? Now you third world mad. You pissed off. But the reality of that is you can't be mad at nobody but yourself. You can't be upset with nobody but yourself. You can't be frustrated with nobody but yourself. In these next 4 months, I want you to understand, you owe it to yourself to be locked in like never before. You owe it to yourself to be focused on yourself like never before. In these next 4 months, I don't care what the potential look like, what the representation of it look like, how well spoken it comes and put it out there to you and all of that. You have got to be locked in with yourself. The win that you need is the win that you need. This ain't even got to do with nobody else. This is all about you holding on to the part of the boat that you're supposed to be holding on to. Understand me. You have to treat this life right here, baby. I'm gonna tell you right now what we doing. I'm treating this life, these 4 months, I'm about to treat it just like Rose. I'm about to treat it like Rose did. I am. Rose ain't let that man hold on to her piece of the boat because she went trying to go up under the water and she just left that man out there. She loved him, but she just left him out there because if he started holding on to her piece of wood, then he was going to pull her up under as well. And I think his name was Jack. But baby, he going to have to float. Jack going to have to float, baby. You can't hold on to my piece of wood because you're too heavy to hold on. Yeah, you too heavy to hold on to my wood, right? So these next 4 months, I suggest everybody grab their piece of wood. Because if you ain't got your piece of wood, if you don't have your, I don't know how you gonna make it to the shore. Understand me. I don't know what you gonna do with yourself because these next 4 months, I'm being self-full. Understand me, self-full. I am worrying about myself. I am focusing on myself. I am locked into myself. You have learned for 3 weeks now. We have spoken about the benefits of being connected to Christ. You have so much information now on how important it is to be connected to that boat, to be holding on to your part of the boat. We have broken down the consequences of you letting go of that boat. The outcome is you're going to be Jack. Understand me? You're going to be Jack. Jack was found floating. Jack is done floating. One of the whales, one of the sharks, one of the fish, somebody done got Jack. Understand me? Rose made it to shore. She had a piece of the boat. Jack did not have a piece of the boat. So we already know what happened to Jack. Jack is somewhere, up in the upper room. That's where Jack at. Understand me? That's all I'm saying. Jack gone. Don't be Jack. Don't be Jack. Your focus. Your focus has to be you. Your focus has to be your spiritual practices. Your focus have to be on what keeps you connected, what keeps you in alignment. This is what's going to help you win. This is what's going to help you win. This is what's going to help you, right? This is what's going to help you. So we've studied the pros and we studied the cons. We told you the benefits of being connected, and we also told you the consequences of being disconnected. And I told you that all of this ties into your boat. Right? So now what we're going to talk about, I need y'all to do me a favor while y'all getting this. Go ahead and get us up to 100K. We need 100K over here on Tickety Talk. Tickety Talk, go ahead and hit that double tap, show some love. If it's been tight, but it's been right, but if I've been on your toes a little bit, go ahead and send me some love on the Book of Many Faces. Right now we got 657. Let's get up to 1K real quick. Let's go ahead and get to a 1K over there on the Book of Many Faces on the gram. Gram, do me a favor. Let's get 6 badges going on the gram real quick. Let's get to it. get to it. She said, I ran across this page. You ran over here, babe? You ran across this page. Look how God worked. And now you over here, getting a word this morning. Now you over here getting a word this morning. If it's been tight, but it's been right, and it's been just what you needed, because you know that you've been out of focus and you needed that reminder. I needed that reminder of where I needed to be, where I should be. I needed that reminder, somebody just to pop in and let me know that I'm stronger than what I'm giving myself credit for, that I got this. But the only way that I'm going to make it is if I do that, coach. I gotta free myself from the excess weight, right? Anything that's not in alignment, anything that's not growing, anything that's not developing, I got to get on away from that. Thank you, Cook. I appreciate you so much, sis. Listen, yeah, this is just the reality of it. This is the reality of it, right? You got 4 months. You got 4 months. It's okay. It is okay. You got 4 months. I want to go to Acts 27. Acts 27, and I want to start at the 27th verse. We're going to go to Acts 27, and we're going to start at the 27th verse of Acts 27, right? Acts 27. You're going to have to stick with your boat. You're going to have to stick with the boat, and it's going to require you to do exactly what you need to do. She said, I needed this, and God delivered. You see how he be working. Going to always give you what you need. Always give you what you need. Might not be what you want all the time, but he's most definitely going to give you what you need. Miss Coach, how you doing this morning? I am Pink. I appreciate you so much this morning. Thank you so much, Danielle. I appreciate you, Amanda. Danielle, I appreciate that love over there. We need 4 more. Let's get 4 more badges going on the gram. 4 more badges on the gram. Edie Nicole, I appreciate you so much. Good morning to you, Melinda Pear. Thank you so much for those hearts. I appreciate you. Good morning. Good morning. We're going to Acts, and it's going to be Acts 27. Acts 27. We talked about the pros of being connected to Christ. We talked about the consequences of being disconnected from Christ. We understand now that God gives instructions, right? He gives you instructions in struggle, right? Right there when you're going through the most toughest time of your life. So I'm teaching you this morning to do what? To be focused, to be locked in, even when you're going through the toughest time of your life. Thank you so much, Bessie. I appreciate you. Good morning, sis. Listen, I want you to be super focused, super locked in. Thank you, Takesha. Thank you, Benny Simpson. I appreciate y'all this morning. Let's get to it, right? So even when you're going through the toughest times in your life, we realize now, just based on this morning, that when I'm going through struggle, I know that's when my instructions are coming. Is it Asana Collins? Appreciate that CA this morning, right? So now when I'm going through the toughest times of my life, I have to learn how to be focused, how to be quiet, how to tap in, how to shut out all the noise, how to navigate through the chaos when everybody else is in a panic. I got to shut all of that out, because I know that that's when he's going to be talking to me. I know that's when he's going to be giving me my instruction. So it's okay for me to say, hey, I need a break. I need a minute. I need to process what's going on, because I need to hear a word, right? So when we get over here, Acts 27, it's the shipwreck. Inside your notes, I want y'all to put at the top of your notes, shipwreck. We're going to talk about the shipwreck. Right? Talking about the shipwreck, it says, on the 14th night, we were still being driven across the Atlantic Sea, the Atlantic Sea, when about midnight, the sailors sensed that they were approaching land. Verse 28, they looked around and found that the water was 120 feet deep. A short time later, they took sounds again and found it was 90 feet deep. 29. Fearing that we would be dashed against the rocks, they dropped 4 anchors from the stem and prayed for daylight. In an attempt to escape from the ship, the sailors let the lifeboat into the sea, pretending they were going to lower some anchors from the bow. Then Paul said to the centurions and the soldiers, unless these men stay with the ship, you cannot save them. In other words, because these people, these sailors, right, the prison guards and all the centurions, the ones that have taken Paul, right, because we started at 27, right, and they got him out here, and now they're trying to figure out a way, how can we finesse this storm that we're in? They got Paul on the boat. Paul is on the boat. He's out here at this moment. He's trying to figure out his life, right, because now Paul is like, man, I'm out here, I'm a prisoner on the boat, and now as a prisoner, I'm still having to give them instructions on how we gonna get saved. Can you imagine how that's looking out there already, right? Can you imagine what that's looking like? Because if they are the COs and they are, you know what I'm saying, the people that's over Paul, then guess what? They not trying to listen to Paul. You a prisoner. And how do we know you ain't trying to finesse us? How you know you ain't just trying to find a way so that you can escape and go back to doing what you're doing? So they ain't trying to listen to Paul. They out here in the middle of this water and they doing their own thing. Why? Because we can't listen to you. You a prisoner. And there's some folks in your life, they'll never be able to see you past anything that you used to be. Understand me? They've already made up their mind. They're not taking directions from you. They've already made up their mind. Understand me that I'm not listening to you. I'm not respecting you. I'm not seeing you. No matter how much you grow, no matter how much you change, no matter how much you heal, no matter how much you develop, how much you show up in a space, understand, and you showing up completely different. There's some folk that are committed to you always being what they saw you as, right? No matter how much you've changed, understand me. And sometimes you ain't never have to be that individual at all. Oh, God, you got, wait, whoa. Let me say that part again. Sometimes you ain't never even been the individual that they try to make you out to be. That was a fresh download right there. Yeah. Some of y'all be fighting battles with folks that I ain't never even been no liar to you, but you treat me like a liar. I've never been a manipulator, never been narcissistic, never been toxic. But that's exactly how you being treated. You're like, wait a minute, where did all of this even come from? Understand me? And they're treating you a certain type of way based on how somebody else have treated them. They giving you the consequence, understand me, and the punishment of what somebody else have done to them in their life. You ain't never even did them nothing. You didn't love them more than they didn't love themselves. You didn't been there for them more than they didn't been there for themselves. You've come through for them more than they didn't come through for themselves. And they still treat you like they raggedy ex. Understand me? They still treat you like they absent father. They still disrespect you, unlike their mother that let them go. Understand me? They treat you like you was the one that done it. And you ain't never, come on, you ain't never even been that person to them. Hold on, why you want to talk about that? Yeah, okay, well, I say that to say that I ain't mean to say that, but that's just what came to me while I was giving you this message. And I'm just here to let you know that even in those types of relationships, you got to get out, leave them, let them go, disconnect from them. The disrespect was all the closure that you need. Your departure should be swift. Your departure should be quick, fast, and in a hurry. You should get up out of there like yesterday. Hello, somebody, stop staying in environments like that. Stop dealing with that. Stop putting up with that. Stop tolerating that. You deserve way more than that right there. I'm just here to let you know, that was your warning. And the more that you stay in those environments, the more that you are condoning that type of treatment, the more that you make excuses to stay in those environments, the more of that type of dysfunctional behavior, that treatment that you're going to be dealing with, baby. And trust me when I tell you, it gets worse. All they got to see is that you're going to put up with it a little bit, and then that little bit becomes a more little bit, and that little bit becomes a more little bit, and before you know it, that's just how they deal with you all together, disrespectfully. Okay, yeah, anyway, hey, that's for you this morning. And it says, then Paul said to the centurion and the soldiers, unless these men stay with the ship, you cannot be saved. In other words, he's telling them, everybody got to stay with the boat. Understand me? Everybody got to stay in here. So the soldiers cut the ropes and held the lifeboat and let it drift away, right? Just before dawn, Paul urged them all to eat. For the last 14 days, he said, you have been in constant suspense and have gone without food. You haven't eaten anything. In other words, Paul, right? Paul being a man that is in partnership with Christ. Paul is out there on the ship. It's been 14 days and he been out there at sea. He been to and he been from. He is swaying out there in the ocean. He done seen these men running around in panic. He done seen all the chaos, all the drama, all the fear. He done seen these grown men that's supposed to be the soldiers and everything else. They crying mind, they are at fear of losing their life, right? And here he is, a prisoner on the ship, and he's still giving them advice. He's still telling them, hey, I need you to eat. Hey, you need to calm down. Hey, keep everybody right here with the boat. Understand me? Because unless everybody stay, you won't survive. Right? Paul say, you gotta eat. Can you imagine how that conversation going? You ever seen somebody whose nerves be so toe up and they want to do everything but eat? I don't have an appetite. I'm not hungry right now. When your nerve is really toe up and you are in fear for your life, the last thing that's on your mind is you trying to eat anything. You don't have an appetite to eat. And when you do try to eat, it make you feel nauseous. It makes you feel sick to your stomach because your nerves is so toe up so bad. And Paul, in order for Paul to eat, and then just bear with me now. Just bear with me. Just sit with me in this minute, right? So in order for Paul to be able to eat, that means that Paul had to be at a place of calmness. What Coach told you at the beginning of this live, operate your spirit of calmness. In order for Paul to be out here having the same experience that these folks is having, right? Paul is in the same boat that they are in. Paul got to see the same water that they see. Paul is there witnessing them throw the lifeboats over the water because they're going to start kicking folk out. So Paul is experiencing the depths of the water. He sees everything that they sees, but he see it differently. What is he saying? He's having the same experience, right, Lily? Come on. Right, Kira? Right, Tifa? Right, Kim? Paul's having the same experience that everybody else is having, right? He's out there on the water with them. Paul is out there in the water right along with them, right? So why is it that Paul has an appetite? Why Paul got an appetite, Kim, if everybody else don't have an appetite? Why is Paul able to think clearly if everybody else is all discombobulated, all disheveled, all over the place? Why is Paul sitting over there cool as a cucumber, right? Make this make sense. Make this make sense, Amanda. Can we be real? Let's talk about it. Why, if you out here having the same thing, that going through the same thing that I'm going through, and our response to what we're going through is completely different? Because Paul was in partnership with somebody that they wasn't in partnership with. Paul was in partnership with the Most High God. Paul was acknowledging the fact, right, that God is what? God is with me. Understand me. God is in control of this situation. God is aware of this situation. And also he was what? He's controlling the outcome. And with him, I'm going to succeed. He knew this already. He knew who he was in partnership with. Why in the world am I going to be afraid of the waves when I know who controlled the waves? Why am I going to be afraid of the storm when I know who controls the storm? Why would I be frightened by the winds when I know who controls the winds? Understand me. I need y'all to sit down a minute. I need y'all to take a break a minute. I need y'all to relax a minute. Matter of fact, I need y'all to get so relaxed that you can eat, because it's been 14 days. We've been out here for 14 days. He says, just before dawn, Paul urged them to eat. For the last 14 days, he said, you have been in constant suspense, and meaning you have been in unsure. That unsure spirit have turned you every which way but loose. You've been afraid. You've been all over the place. You ain't know what was going to happen. And you've been like that for 14 days, and you have gone without food. He says, you've eaten. You haven't eaten anything. Now, I urge you to take some food. You need it to survive. Not one of you will lose a single hair on his head. Verse 34, put some highlight. Put some highlight, put some highlight, put some highlight, put some highlight. And yeah, if you pulled out your book, put that highlight on there right there. He says, now I urge you to take some food. You need it to survive. Not one of you will lose a single hair from his head. Oh, mercy. Oh, mercy. You a prisoner, Paul. But wait, whoa. You a prisoner on the ship. You chained up on the ship. You see everything that I see on the ship. You got all this going on, and you mean to tell me you still operating with this level of calmness? Come here, be kind. You still operating with this level of calmness? You still operating with this level of power, of authority, that you're able to speak like this? How do you know this? How are you so sure of this? Wait a minute. Who do you think that you are? That you can speak with this type of authority? That you can speak something like that over us this type of way? Paul knew his partnership. So I ask you again this morning, for anybody that's going through anything in life, are you in suspense or are you operating in the spirit of calmness? I'm asking you on this morning. I don't care what them folks on that job say. I don't care what them folks in that family say. I don't care what that doctor then said. I don't care what type of report that you then got back. I'm asking you, who are you in partnership with on this morning? Who are you in partnership? Who are you trusting? Understand me, because Paul is having this experience, right? Same experience that they're having, but Paul is speaking with authority. He's speaking with authority. He's speaking with clarity. And I'm talking about Paul is speaking almost as if he is Christ. Hey now. That's something Jesus would have said. If we were going to be real, that's something that he would have said. If we think about all the things, that's right, there you go. You see how you following me? Come on now. That's something, yeah. He's speaking like that's something Jesus would have said. Paul is operating what Coach tell y'all to operate with, which is what? Christ conscious. That's what we were instructed to do. Paul said something that Jesus would have said. If you go back into that book and you see how he would handle them, Paul said, not one single hair on your head. You ain't gonna even lose a strand of hair. Can you imagine the way these folks is looking at Paul on this boat in this moment? How in the world are you saying this when you see what it is that we going through? When you see how it is that we being tossed to and fro? When you see the winds and you feel the water coming over the top of the boat? How in the world are you telling us to be calm and eat? How are you so concerned about food in such a time as this? How are you thinking that you can tell us that we gonna all make it when we looking at this situation, the circumstance that we in, and we see that it looks like some of us are not going to make it home. Some of us won't make it to land. Some of us won't survive this. Are you not seeing it how we're seeing it? And no, he's not, because of who he's in partnership with. Where your faith at? Where's your trust? You can't just believe when it's all going good. You can't just be happy, joy when it's all going good. You can't just celebrate when you feel like it's all going good. That's not how this works. You have to be all the way prepared. Understand me. You have to be all the way locked in. You have to already be prioritizing your spiritual practices, already utilizing your pressure plan. This is what we're talking about. He says, now he urged them to take some food. He said, you needed to survive. Not one of you will lose a single hair from his head. After he said this, he took some bread and he gave thanks to God, right, in front of them all. Then he broke it and began to eat. You better back that up. After, hey now, say now. After he said this, he took some bread and gave thanks to God in front of them all. Then he began to eat. Oh, sit in that. After he said this, after he said, you needed to survive, not one of you will lose a single hair from his head. After he said, you need to eat, you're not going to lose a single hair from your head. After he said that, he took some bread, gave thanks to God in front of them, then broke it and began to eat. Where did he do it? He did it right there in front of them. What did he do it, Coach? He did it right there in front of them. What did he do in front of them? He gave thanks to God. He gave thanks to God right there in front of them. Right there in front of the same exact people who had him in chains, who had him out there on a boat. And you mean right there in front of them. He gave thanks right there in front of them. Well, what are you trying to convey to us? What are you trying to make us understand when you say that like that? That it's going to be right there in the presence of the people that are slandering you, and the people that are lying on you, on the people that are ridiculing you, on the people that's bashing you, and the people that is counting you out, and the people that's wishing bad on you, that's digging ditches for you. It's going to be right there in front of those same people that you're going to have to give thanks, that you're going to have to worship, that you're going to have to praise, that you're going to even break bread. Understand that not just break bread, you're going to also eat. Baby, understand me. Not only will it be in front of those people that you're going to have a praise, that you're going to have to work, you're going to have a worship. Those same people that did all of these things is going to be the same folk that you sit right there in front of, throwing your hands to the sky and saying, God, I thank you. God, I worship you. God, I praise you. God, I give you honor and I give you glory in advance for what it is that you're going to do in my life, how you're going to bring me through in my life, how you're going to overflow my life, for the abundance in my life. Understand me, right there in the presence of the same folk that got you chained on the boat and been out there for 14 days. Understand me, this is what he done. He said what he said. He spoke with authority, right there in front of them. Then he did what? He took the bread, then he broke the bread, then he ate the bread. He was an example of what? Of Christ, of what Christ would be right here on this earth. Because when that boat was overflowing with water and them folks was running around the top of that boat, he was in there. Paul is an example of how Christ would have handled that situation. Because when that boat was overflowing with water and them folks were running around on their boat, they said that Jesus was where? Jesus was at the bottom of the boat, and he had his pillow, and he was downstairs of the boat, and he would sleep on his pillow. They had to come down there and wake him up. And then they asked him, they said, hey, wait a minute. Are you not afraid of what's going to happen to us? Are you not afraid of what's about to take place? That's right. That pillow was plush. If we were going to be honest about the pillow, okay? Yeah, understand me. Jesus was down there asleep. Paul was on the boat. Paul watching everything that's going on. He watching them run around in circles. He watching them throw the lifeboats over the sides of the boat. He warning them, don't throw stuff over. I'm going to tell you right now, you ain't got to do that. Paul said you're running around in suspense for 14 days and you ain't ate nothing. You need to sit down and you need to eat. They running around the boat. The boat is overflowing now with water. Jesus in the bottom of the boat. They come down there. They say, you ain't concerned about what's going to happen with us? What does Jesus do? Jesus go back up to the top of the boat. He tell the winds and the waves, hey, be still. And he does exactly what he says. Paul breaks his bread and he began to eat. This right there in front of him. Paul led by example. He showed them exactly what it was that they were supposed to be doing. They were all encouraged and ate some food themselves. They was all encouraged. They was all inspired by seeing how Paul did what he done. That they took some and they started to eat as well. Altogether, there was 276 of us on board. Altogether, there was 276 of us on board. When they had eaten as much as they wanted, they lightened the ship by throwing the grain into the sea. When daylight came, they did not recognize the land, but they saw a bay with a sandy beach where they began to run the ship around if they could. Where they decided to run the ship around if they could. Cutting loose the anchors, they left them in the sea and at the same time untied the ropes and held the rotors. Then they hoisted the foresail to the wind and made for the beach. But when the ship struck a sandbar and ran around. The boat struck fast and would not move, and the stern was broken into pieces by the pounding of the surf. The soldiers planned to unalive the prisoners to prevent any of them from swimming away and escaping. Let's put a pause right there. How is it that you out here and escaping? Let's put a pause right there. How is it that you out here